Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy comparison. And this time we're taking a look at the Star Wars The Last Jedi, the Black Series 6-inch Luke Skywalker Jedi Master figure compared to the Star Wars The Last Jedi 3 3/4-inch standard Luke Skywalker figure. And these are both from the new The Last Jedi toy line. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at each figure. So comparing these guys side by side, so obviously the size comparison, I mean, is a huge thing. So you got the 6-inch one on the left and the 3 3/4-inch on the right. So you obviously, can see that right off the bat. The next big thing is the cloaks, the cloth cloak on the Black Series one, and then the plastic one or rubberish on one on the 3 3/4-inch. But overall they look really good. I mean, when you really compare them and you take a look at them, the detail is very similar. I mean, obviously you're going to get a little bit of better detail on a bigger figure because they can sculpt a little better. But these are two really good representations of Mark Hamill and the way Luke Skywalker is going to look in The Last Jedi. Biggest problem I have probably, I'm not a super big fan of this cloth cloak, the one on the left. It just doesn't flow right. It always gives him that pointy little top on his head, and I don't like that. The one on the right's cleaner and stuff like that, but it's molded so you can't, have the hood up. But I mean, It looks good. You can tie this down. There is these little tie downs, which I showed in the individual review, that you can tie this down to keep it on there. But I mean, as far as display, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And as we go to the back, you can kind of see And the cloak's already fallen off because I don't have it tied down what they look like on the back, but they look really good. I mean, the colors are basically the same. I'd say that the only thing that really differs is the cloaks are a slightly different color, but I don't think the camera's even going to show that. But I mean, really good detail. We'll take the cloaks off here. And this is, I mean, these figures are so similar when you really look at them. Like I said, this mainly just, this bigger figure is just a little bit more detailed because they had more, you know, plastic and rubber to work with. The big thing with this is the articulation. The one on the left has so much articulation, it's incredible, and the one on the right just has the 5 points of articulation. This guy moves his head, you know, his arms and shoulders have a ball joint. He moves the elbow, bends at the elbow, he rotates at the wrist. His legs move out, in, forward, back, bend at the knee with the double joint, and he's got his ankles can move forward and back and side to side, so he's got the ankle pivot as well. And he's got, you know, kind of a ball joint on his head, but his hair kind of restricts the movement. This guy does have a ball joint on his head. He moves his arms forward and back, and he goes up and down. And this is where there's really problem with the articulation, is they have that weird leg thing where the way they molded it, just because it's the cheaper figure, it's just plastic. And this is very reminiscent. They did this with the Last Jedi Kylo Ren figure, but like I said, really good. I mean, when you look at them, I mean, when I was looking at some of the footage, just, you know, doing the little you know, first look at them, they're very similar. Like if you're looking at the face and you don't really know, you might not know which one's which. But let's take a little bit of a closer look. Taking a look at the faces, here we have the 6-inch Black Series 1, and you know, they have more, you know, surface area to work with, so they can always get a little bit more detail. But I mean, overall, when you kind of go back and forth, they're very similar. There's just a little bit more tooling in the hair. There's also a little bit more tooling in his beard. I mean, it looks really good. And the face, they almost have those, they kind of show the wrinkles in his face. And if you kind of go down to the 3 3/4 inch one, and we'll zoom in, you can kind of see that they tried that as well, but it's just not as hard to even zoom in that good. But it's not as easy to do that as well. But I mean, like I said, they're very similar. I mean, looking at the body, I mean, everything looks really good. The belts look good. I mean, the tunics look good. They have that molded detail. And I mean, the 6-inch Black Series obviously is going to show, you know, you can see the joint in his little, you know, part of his, between his forearm and his upper arm. I mean, it looks really cool. I mean, they even both have the little latch for his lightsaber, even though they don't come with that. And here we go. We'll go down to the 3 3/4 inch one. And you can see, I mean, it looks really good. The problem is with this guy, you can kind of see down by more of his crotch area. He's got those little like joint marks where he moves his legs, which is kind of unfortunate. But you can even see that little tiny lightsaber hook on there. They did a great job on that. And you see his robotic hand. It's a little bit more prevalent to see the detail on the bigger one. Like I said, because they had, you know, they have more surface area and plastic to deal with. As we go to the 3 3/4 inch one, you can see the details there. It's just not as clean looking because it's just such a smaller figure to work with. It's so much harder to get that tooling and detail in there. The lower bodies are just, you know, they're night and day. I mean, you've got this one solid piece rubber, looks good, and on the side it's got the split so you can move him and stuff and get better articulation. And he's just got that solid plastic block for the articulation, so you can see a lot of the space there where the bend and stuff like that. And that's really unfortunate. That's, you know, but that's what you get with the smaller figure. I mean, it's you pretty much should expect that, especially, you know, for the price difference. And moving on to the back, you can see the detail in his hair and stuff like that on the 6-inch one. It's gonna be more prevalent. I mean, everything just looks cleaner. I mean, obviously he's gonna have that nice smooth look because of all the rubber pieces. And as you move over to the 3 3/4 inch one, you can see they have tooling in his hair, but it's gonna be not as good as well. As you can kind of see, you know, as you get down, this looks good. But as soon as you start getting down to this section, you can see the joints. That's really where this figure really fails. Both these figures are really great representations of Luke Skywalker. I mean, if I had to pick a winner, you know, you're almost always going to have to go with the Black Series just because of the detailing and articulation. I think, you know, the Black Series cloak kind of bothers me. You know, I don't know if I'd rather have it being a rubber. I just think that it just doesn't sit on him really that well. I mean, you have to tie it down, and you know, I don't know if there's a really good way to tie that down without showing the little ties, which is unfortunate. But I've always been a fan of the 3 3/4 inch series. I will always collect them. They're, you know, my favorite series. I have that nostalgia to them. But I mean, overall, I mean, you're always with the 6-inch. You're going to get a better figure. It's just you're paying for it. You're paying a premium. You're paying $20 for a figure, as opposed to, you know, the 3 3/4 inch, which is going to be $7.99. So, I mean, right around $8. So, $20 to $8 is really what you have. You really can't go wrong. I mean, they both look amazing. Like I said, you can see the difference in the detail on the face, but it's so subtle. Everything just looks good. I mean, these are two amazing looking figures. Both these figures don't have any other accessories, which just, I mean, it really is a disappointment when it comes to that. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's just to hide something that's going to happen in the movie. They're not, you're not sure if he's going to use the lightsaber or not, or maybe he won't even use the lightsaber in the movie. That maybe they're going to release, if they do end up doing that in the movie, that they're going to release a different figure that's going to have that, because they don't want to, do spoilers, which is, they pretty much do that, nowadays. Pretty famous thing with that was when Rey had the diecast Disney Store figure. I think that was it's like a 6-inch figure as well, or right around there. They released Rey with BB-8, and she just had her basic stuff. And then when the movie came out, the day the movie dropped, they released the same figure just with a lightsaber in the package as well. So there's actually 2 different versions of that, just because they didn't want to spoil it, because nobody really knew that Rey was going to be a Force user or use the lightsaber. At least they thought that way. I'm pretty sure everybody kind of saw it coming, but they did that for spoiler reasons. So just like they didn't release the Rey Blade Builder lightsaber until the movie was out for a while, just so they didn't have any spoilers, because you see her with the lightsaber. But we'll have to see what happens. Like I said, these are 2 phenomenal figures in the Last Jedi toy line. They're absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong. They look amazing, and they're probably a must-buy. Especially because it's Luke Skywalker, and this is really the first real Luke Skywalker good figures we're getting out of this new trilogy. But once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.